What's going on, everybody? It's Dot Bets. We're checking back in. We got on the dot week 6 coming at you guys here with the NFL live stream. Back at our regular time. We had a Saturday show last week, had some obligations last Sunday. But man, we did very, very well. We went 6-1 plus 5.79 units. So overall, it takes us to 18-15 for plus 2.87 units on the show year to date. So ready to get after it for week 6. As always, this is powered by Occupy Fantasy. I will be using some of their tools, their OccuProp Radar, their model as well. Make sure you guys check them out on YouTube, check them out on Twitter, occupyfantasy.com to get all of your DFS needs. One of the best DFS communities on the planet. Make sure you guys join. Use my referral link in the description below. We got the London game going on, so if you see me peek over to the side there, I'm just trying to catch a couple plays here and there. Let me know in the comments if you guys are watching the London game. Kind of give me updates as we go. Before we get going, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you're on X or Twitter, simply hit that retweet button and would appreciate that significantly. If you're new to the show, what we do, we go game by game, talk about kind of strategies I'm implementing for the DFS slate. And then we go over some spreads and totals I like, have official plays there. And then I got 3 props for you as well. As always, I give you guys a VIP teaser. That smashed last week. Really, really pumped about that. Knew we were going to get back on track. Love this one today. And then we end always on the show with an anytime touchdown score, with the first touchdown score, and then an lotto anytime touchdown parlay. So we are usually here about 15 to 20 minutes or so, depending on how many questions we get. Sometimes we run a little bit later on. We get to 30 minutes. But that dictates on you guys. So make sure you guys have any questions, DFS, start, sit, props, anything. Let me know in the comments. We'll get after it. So let's just go game by game and get after it with the Commanders Falcons. So this is a game where 42.5 point total. I can see this being a sneaky stack, sneaky shootout. I'm going to go ahead and stack this game. I'm stacking the Commander side 3x1. I just can't trust Ritter to do exactly what he did again. And I'm just hoping I get right with London or Pitts, and or Bijan. And then I like Sam Howell this week. So Howell, Logan Thomas is a good option. McLaurin, Dotson, you got options here, and I think this game could get a little bit out of hand, speed or pace of play wise. I think they could speed up the Falcons, but I think it's a little bit sneaky. 42.5. I'm going to go with the Commanders 3x1, and then the Panthers Dolphins. You got a 14.5 point favorite. Very, very tough to stack this game, but I'm doing it. I'm going to stack it. I'm going to go. And traditionally, you can go 2-0 and 3-0. That's what Occupy Fantasy would recommend is a 2-0, 3-0. I think I can run it back though with Thielen and or Chuba Hubbard. I think one of those two can get there on the way back. So you could go Tyreek, you could go Hill, you could go Waddle, and with Hubbard, this slate is a little bit different. So there's 2 or 3 on the slate with running backs that are like below 5,000. So you can go one of 2 ways. You can play those guys and go expensive stacks, or you could go expensive running backs and then go cheaper stacks. So I'm attacking it both different ways. I got 4 stacks. I'm attacking it two expensive ones and 2 cheaps. So Washington was a cheaper one. This Miami one is a more expensive one. So vice versa, you're going to play different. Your lineups are going to be made a little bit different there. Next game, we got the Vikings and the Bears. Looks like there's going to be some rain, not rain, but wind this game. Typical Chicago weather, windy. I think it's a 10 to 20 mile an hour wind, so nothing crazy. But this game is I think it could be a sneaky shootout, but I want to see this Vikings offense without Justin Jefferson. It's going to be tough to adjust, I think, right away. But they have the pieces. They got Addison, they got Osborne, they have Brandon Powell, and then they obviously have Hawkinson. So it's good to see there. And then the Bears coming back. You got Fields, who's been playing on fire, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. It's a game I'm interested in. I haven't fully gotten their game stack wise, but I do like the mini stack here. My mini stack with DJ Moore and Jordan Addison, or you could go DJ Moore with Hawkinson. I like that mini stack for this game. Then you got the Seahawks Bengals. I really wanted to get to this game. I really did. Game stack wise, I stayed away. Going to play Jamar Chase. I'm not going to chase what he did last week. And then you got the Seahawks coming out the bye, probably going to be filled with Kenneth Walker. You got DK Metcalf, and then you have Tyler Lockett in play. Noah Fant, also a deep tight end play this week, since the Bengals do give up a significant amount to the tight end position. But overall, another game. Higgins is back, so you could potentially stack it. 45.5 point total. Just something I didn't get to this week. I don't blame you if you do. 49ers versus the Browns, another game I didn't get too much of. It's a low total of 36. Just feels like a 49er route. Not much with the Browns coming back. You still have Ford, you still have Hunt, but it's PJ Walker. Deshaun's out with that rotator cuff injury. Just going to be tough for the Browns to keep up in this game. 49ers onslaughts for sure. And then we got an interesting game. This is my other cheap stack of the week, and this is the Colts Jaguars. I like the Colts in this matchup. Little rematch from week 1. And Minshew is the quarterback. And I think Minshew opens up this offense a little bit more than Richardson did. And that's just in the passing game. So I think this Minshew to Josh Downs to Pittman or Alec Pierce, or you can try to pick one of the 4 tight ends. I wouldn't suggest doing that. But I like those 3 receivers and then bringing it back with either Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, or Evan Ingram. So I think that's the route to go, because Minshew is like $5,000. And you go cheap stacks with the more expensive running backs, more expensive receivers. I think you could be a lot different on the slate, because a lot of people are jamming the cheap running backs and going with the more expensive stacks. So we're flipping it on them. So hopefully this is a good strategy, and hopefully we pick one of these right ones, Sam Howell or Gardner Minshew, who are high up in Occupy's model. One of the reasons why we're taking it, that model is gold. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to take something and all of a sudden they're the top scorer of the slate, and you're like, I should have just listened to that damn model. So I'm going with that route. Next game, we got the Saints Texans. I think this could have some points to it, and this will be one of my plays we'll get to in a little bit. And mainly, CJ Stroud is just unbelievable. And I think this game environment in the dome with the Saints here, the Saints defense has been absolutely on a roll, and I think they're one of the best in the league. But this Texans offense, I think, can move the football and keep CJ Stroud upright with the additions on their offensive line. So give me. I'm not going to stack this game, but I do have pieces, tons of pieces. Olave is an underperforming wide receiver for Occupy Fantasy. So if you don't know what that is, check out their website. You want to play underperforming wide receivers from them. Next one, I'm not getting into much of this game at all. Patriots Raiders. It's a good game environment in Dome with the being in Las Vegas. I just can't trust this Patriots offense. It's horrendous. I think there was some I shared on the Discord today or yesterday, like the Boston Red Sox have outscored the Patriots this month, and the Red Sox have played one game. So I think it was like 6-3. It's pretty wild, but it's just not good. And I saw Mac Jones was on a short leash. So I'm just going to stay away. If you're going to bring back anybody from the Patriots, it's either going to be Hunter Henry or it's going to be Ramondre. But I'm not stacking that game whatsoever. Then my last stack, we got the Cardinals-Rams game. I feel like I'm just stacking the Rams week in and week out, but you have to. I know they're 7-point favorites, but this Cardinals team has shown week in, week out, it's going to stay in ball games. It's not going to quit. You're not going to get blown out right off the bat. So 48-point total. Dobbs, you have Marquise Brown you can run it back with, but I'm going to stack the Rams side 3-by-1. Come back with either Brown or Zach Ertz if you wanted to go very, very different. You could go Michael Wilson. And then they do have DeMarcado and Ingram, who are very, very cheap on the slate too. If you wanted to go that route, I'm probably not including a running back in that stack though. So I would go Rams 3-1 with Puka, Kupp, and then Stafford coming back with Brown or Ertz. It's pretty ideal there. One that I'm still debating on. I don't think I'm going to get to it all the way is this Eagles-Jets game. There's so many defensemen out for both sides. This total rose from 41.5 to 42.5 overnight, and it could probably get going to 43 by game time. No Jalen Carter for the Eagles, no Sauce for the Jets, multiple other injuries on both sides. I don't want to say it because this is kind of on the record, but you could probably play Garrett Wilson this week. That's disgusting. And I don't know why I said that, but we're going that route. If you do, I don't blame you. There's a lot of pieces. There's a lot of things that could go right for Wilson. You got Brees absolutely back. So it's a sneaky shootout here for the Eagles-Jets game. Then the last game, we got the Lions at the Bucks. And man, my number one rule is just do not play the Lions when they're on the road. You can play bits and pieces, but you can't stack them. Jared Goff is just completely different away from the dome. And I mean, that was back in the days for the Rams team as well. You get him on the road, something happens to him. This Bucks team, Baker is performing pretty dang well. The Lions defense is legit, but you could always stack this game if you wanted to. 42.5 point total. You got Baker, Evans, Godwin. You could run it back with Amon-Ra. You can run it back with David Montgomery. Not bad. I just don't think the game environment for me. I think there's a lot more different options on this slate. So two strategies we got. We're going to go 2 expensive stacks with the cheap running backs, and then you're going to have 2 cheaper stacks with the more expensive running backs and more expensive receivers. We're going to see which one gets there. I really like this slate. So it's probably one of the few that I've built where it's like, okay, I have a clear strategy, clear vision of what I'm doing, and hoping to see which one works out. Hopefully they get there. We got a couple comments. What's up, Justin? White or Moss half-point PPR? Oh man, that's the question with Taylor. Rashad probably is. Oh man, that's tough. It really is tough because you just don't know how much Jonathan Taylor is going to be there this week. I would assume he goes up slightly from last week, but that's still. I mean, Zach Moss still dominated. I'd take. I'm going to take White in this instance. I'm going to take White. I'm going to think JT's got a little bit more piece of the pie there, and White, if they're trailing, can get there with the pass game. Chuba or Deontay DFS. I truly think it's I think I'm going to go Chuba over Foreman, but that's going to be one that you have to decide. Very, very. I mean, they're $100 difference. I think Foreman is he's going to be rested, and I think game script, if they get up, he could be very, very, very good. I just think Chuba is no doubt, no matter what game script, he's going to be in there 100% of the 90% of the snaps. So I'm defaulting to Hubbard if I have to make a decision there. And who's that? Duvernay? Oh, looks like Duvernay's taking one to the house. Oh, gets tackled by the punter. Tackled by the punter. Wow. All right, yeah, your reactions are my thinking. Yeah, exactly. Because that White Moss, that's a tough decision. That is a tough decision. I'd lean White, and then I'm gonna go Hubbard over Foreman. All right, so let's get into some of our plays. We're gonna go with a team that I've been on and off, where I've either played them in my subscribers pick, or I've played them in this, and I've flip-flopped another one here, and I'm going to bring them back to the show. We're going to go Bengals, -3, -105. A lot of people, I guess, will go with the Seattle Seahawks. You got them coming off a bye. You got all this time to prepare. But this Bengals team needs to play and needs to perform now, and they are slowly getting back to themselves. I think this is a good challenge for the Bengals, because you saw the Seattle Seahawks sack Daniel Jones 10 times and then they go into a bye. I still don't think this defense is that good. I think the Giants was just a mess that night. So I think Burrow, a little bit more healthy with his calf, you should be able to get out of the pocket, scramble a little bit, and then the Bengals at home should roll against the Seahawks here. I think this is one of those times in the season where you're going to see the Bengals just on that right trajectory, and they can get after it. So I'm going to stick with the Bengals this week. Take them at -3. I have seen some -2.5. So if you do want to wait till game time to make this, you definitely can. I don't think it'll get to 3.5 at all. So you can wait if you'd like. All right. So now we got our second play, which is going to be a total. Preface this when I was going through all the games. I do think this is a sneaky game. And the reason for that is because all the Saints games have gone under this season. They're over 5 on the over. And I think this Texans matchup speeds them up. They score some points. We're going with over 42 -112. This is over on DK. I've seen this at 42.5. I've seen some 43s. But right now it's still at 42. CJ Stroud has gotten this team to be somewhat of an offensive juggernaut. You got Nico, who's probably going to be shadowed by Lattimore to an extent, but you still have playmakers in Michi and Damian Pierce, who can break off big runs. Dalton Schultz, who came to work last week. And then the Saints side, Derek Carr progressively getting better from that AC joint injury. I think Olave is in play here. I think Thomas is back in play. You still have Alvin. And I think this could be definitely a shootout, a little bit more high scoring. But I'm not getting there stack wise in DFS, but I do like bits and pieces of this game, like Olave and Collins, or you have Robert Woods. Olave and Robert Woods is a good one too. But so yeah, give me the over 42 here with the Saints and the Texans. The Saints go over for the first time of the season. We got another comment here. Brett, what's up, Brett? How we doing, man? Waddle and Devontae, 100+ yards and TD each. Talk to me. Oh, you going to parlay that? I like that. Well, Waddle's he's confusing this year, because you would think he gets there each and every week with how elite this offense has been, but Tyreek has just swaddled up most of that target share. 14.5-point favorites. He's going to have to get there early. So if you want to maybe tamper the Waddle one down a little bit, but Devontae, if this is going to be a week for Devontae, it definitely could be this week against the beat up Jets secondary. So I mean, I could see Brown and Smith both going for 100+. Waddle, I would probably temper expectations. Touchdown wise, Devontae over Waddle there, but can't blame me if you want to go both. Can't blame you. Okay, let's go into our subscriber teaser. This is the VIP plays. If you do want the VIP plays, it's in the description below. Make sure you guys hit me up on Twitter @.bets. I can hook you guys up with some promo codes as well. We're going to go with the teaser, 7-point teaser +130. We're going to tease the Rams game down to 7 to a pick 'em. The Niners game, 9.5 down to 2.5. And then we're going to go to that Bears-Vikings game and make that Bears +10. I think the Bears can keep this close. I think the Bears can end up winning. If you wanted to sub a team out, I would be okay with subbing to the Buccaneers if you don't trust the Bears. Both home teams, you can tease up to +10 there. Do not mind that whatsoever. Rams should get it done at home versus the Cardinals. Like I said, Cardinals play teams tough early on, but then slowly drift away. 49ers should absolutely roll against the Browns. No questions asked. And then Bears, I just don't think they get beat by 10. And you got Justin Jefferson out, defense that's struggling for the Vikings, and just 1-4. I mean, you could put a dagger in them if they go 1-5 and they lose to the Bears. So I think the Bears keep them close. They're rolling. That's a 1.5 unit play. So that is the biggest play of the show here. VIP 7-point teaser, and that is over on DraftKings. I took that. All right, so let's get some OccuProp radar on the screen here. So this is one of my favorite features from Occupy Fantasy, free to use on their website. As you can see, you just scroll through their betting tab. You got the deposit bonuses. So make sure if you live in one of these states, take advantage of all of their deposit bonuses. The easiest way to grow your bankroll is to have different books and you get different odds. Obviously, deposit bonuses help the bankroll out significantly. So make sure you guys check those out. You get the live odds tab, shows you your spreads, your money lines, and your totals, each and every book. Very, very easy to use. And then the OccuProp radar, which I use religiously. You got an easy way to do it. You can go any type of game at NFL, NBA, NHL, baseball, and then golf. And we're going to go our first one here. I've already searched for him, Charbonnet. So a lot of people know, if you've been around the NFL, usually after bye weeks, if they have rookie players, they like to get them involved a little bit more. So I think this is the strategy here with Charbonnet. I know I've seen a lot of people on Kenneth Walker's rushing totals. I get it. I think that the Bengals are very, very runnable on. They can be ran on, but Charbonnet is going to keep eating into Kenneth Walker's role. And I think it starts this week. I think this is the one you can get ahead of it. As you can see, if you go down to total rushing yards, it's actually 19.5. So I got 20.5 for the show, like literally, 20 minutes ago. You can get that at 19.5 on FanDuel. So I'm going to put mine up here. We'll go 20.5. But as you can see from the screen, this is why such an elite tool from Occupy. You can see across all the 5 major sports books there, which has the best line. And then you can click Bet Now. It takes you right to that sports book where you can put it in. All right. So Charbonnet, definitely like that 20.5. And let's go to our next one. This one I feel like is such a trap, but I'm going to fall for it. I'm going to completely fall for it. It makes too much sense with Justin Jefferson out. You think this would be like in that 6.5 range, 7.5 range, because he'll have that much usage. But we're gonna go back to the OccuProp radar. TJ Hawkinson over 5.5 receptions, and you can see that's the best line over on FanDuel. So over 5.5 minus 102. This has been plus money. So I saw this on Friday be over 5.5, like plus 120, plus 110. Now it's, more and more people are kind of gravitating toward it. I just feel like it's a trap, but I feel like I got to take it at the same time. It's one of those plays where it's like, it makes too much sense not to take it. But then if you don't take it and it hits, you're like, what? I just left money on the table. Just kind of one of those plays there. But I mean, if you look at his receptions, he's been 8, 7, 8, 2, and then 5. And 8, 7, 8, I think that's where a lot of his production has been, obviously with Justin Jefferson opening up the field. I still think that they can do that with Addison and Osborne. Obviously not as efficiently, but TJ Hawkinson is going to be Kirk Cousins, safety blanket. And 5.5 catches, definitely can see that. Definitely can see him getting there, especially against this Bears defense, which is nothing to take home about. So definitely think we can get TJ Hawkinson here over 5.5 receptions over on FanDuel. And I had one for the London game, and I totally forgot this wasn't Saturday, so I couldn't give it to you guys. But I was going to take Tucker over 1.5 field goals. I saw he had one already. I don't know if he's got another one yet, but I thought I think it was like plus 100 on DK. So I should have just had a Saturday show and give you guys out that one. Last prop that we got here, buying low on a receiver who was very high in the preseason. Very high. Everybody liked him. Thought this offense was going to get rolling with him. And I'm going to go back to him today. it's a good matchup. The Falcons are a defense that you can throw on to an extent, especially from the slot position, somebody that moves around, and that's Jahan Dotson. And we're going to go back to him on the AccuProp radar. You have 35.5 everywhere, and then at FanDuel, we have 33.5. So we're taking 33.5 receiving yards for Jahan Dotson, -110 over on FanDuel. One of those guys who is just disappointed all season long. First game, he had 40, 22 receiving yards, 21, 27, and then 30. His targets have just been, they've been going 7, 5, 4, 9, and 5. He had been nursing an ankle injury. I think he's fully over that. Now it's kind of a buy low situation with Jahan in this matchup. A lot of focus on Terry. A lot of people are going to be on Logan Thomas. I've seen a lot of people on Logan Thomas's receptions. Good play for DFS. I think Dotson is, like I said, for my stack, I think he's the piece where if he goes off, my lineups could go through the roof because I don't think a lot of people are on him this week. I'm going to go look at his ownership real quick. Over on Occupy's model. Let's see. Yeah, he's sitting at 2%. He's sitting at 2%. And we all know, we've seen it last year, what Dotson can do in the right matchups. So I'm buying low. I'm buying low here and making sure that I don't miss this week. And hopefully I hit this completely right here with the Commander stack. But Jahan Dotson over 33.5 receiving yards. Give me all that over on FanDuel. All right, we've hit these touchdowns 2 weeks in a row. So we end the show on a couple touchdowns that we like. We went Brown 2 weeks ago. We had Breece Hall last week, cashed for us. And we're going to go back to the guy who I think is that safety blanket for this Vikings offense, who should step up without Justin Jefferson in the lineup. And that's TJ Hockenson. +160 over on FanDuel. I'm going to bring up his AccuProp radar one more time. See the difference from each sports book here. It's actually +165 now on FanDuel, so that went up. So feel free to take that there. +165, and let's see. From the different sports books, +150 on MGM, +160 on Caesars, +145 on DK, 165 on FanDuel. It's a little bit, it's not as drastic as some of them that I've shown you. Like Breece Hall was like -115 on MGM last week, and he was +140 on DraftKings. So honestly, I have to take that. Luckily, cash there for us, but. Once again, and I'm also taking his first touchdown, +900 over. You can do +950. So it did go up on FanDuel from the time I just made this 30 minutes ago. So we're moving it. So TJ Hockenson +160. TJ Hockenson first touchdown +900. Like the matchup here with the Bears defense, should step up with no Justin Jefferson. Let me know who you guys like to score a touchdown today. We'll be here for another 3 to 4 minutes or so. And as we wrap up the show, as always, we're going to give you an anytime touchdown parlay. Just missed this last week because Olave didn't want to score. So I almost wanted to go back to Olave this week. Did not do it. But we're going to go a couple tight ends that I like. And then I think just a big target against this weak Commanders secondary that we can get there. Hockenson, Goddard, and London. +2905. Took that over on FanDuel. 0.1 unit. Again, Lotto, bet responsibly and don't go crazy with these. We got Justin say Laporta trending to active for lineups. Yeah, it was this calf that popped up on Friday, and Occupy's got no problem with him. He's ranked second in their model, so definitely okay with playing Laporta if you got him. Obviously, in season longs, and if you're playing DFS, you got it. You can play him for sure. But yeah, Hockenson, Goddard, London probably is going to be the key here. I think where Ritter, it's got to give him another chance. You saw a late touchdown last week. I think he can get there against this weak Commanders offense or defense, especially that secondary. Just got ate up by DJ Moore. So give me Hockenson. I love Goddard is trending upwards. It was the squeaky wheel last week, and I think he is just a force in this offense. Mismatches galore, especially with that Jets banged up defense, and then Hockenson being the guy to step up this week. So give me this parlay, 29.05 over on FanDuel. All right, so let's recap real quick. We got the Bengals -3. We got the Saints Texans over 42. We got the VIP 7-point teaser, Rams, 49ers, and the Bears. Charbonnet over 20.5 rush yards, 19.5 if you bet it currently at on FanDuel. Hockenson over 5.5 receptions, and just could be a complete trap, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm just if Hockenson doesn't do well today, I probably won't have a great day. We got Dotson over 33.5 receiving yards, buying low on that elite receiver for the Commanders. We're taking touchdowns from Hockenson and the first touchdown, and then the anytime touchdown parlay. So we'll get up on out here. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure if you guys are watching the replay, as you guys as we move forward towards kickoff, make sure you guys leave a comment on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that retweet button if you guys are watching on X or Twitter. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back next Sunday, same time, same place. Let's have another profitable week. Grow on that 6-1 week last week. Appreciate you guys tuning in. See you guys.